Hey guys, AirTS here, Air for short. I'm going to open a Light and Darkness scroll. I just got this from the end of the month reward, and I'm also going to talk about the runes for whatever monster we end up getting. Now these are just suggestions and you don't need to follow them if you don't want to, but also feel free to leave any suggestions of your own in the comment section below if I don't suggest something that you think might work. So let's do this. 5, 6, 7, 8, summon. Lag. Okay, cool. So this looks like the Dark Charger Shark. He is an attack type monster, and his skills are Lunging Wave performs a lunge attack that damages an enemy while increasing your critical rate for 1 turn. So after he performs this attack, his crit rate will be increased. Then we've got Incapacitate, deals damage to all enemies. The attack has a 50% chance to decrease the attack power and a 50% chance to decrease the attack speed for 2 turns. So damage to all enemies is pretty good. Lowering attack power and attack speed, like, they're the less important ones, but those are good against bosses. But not great debuffs, but nonetheless hits everybody. And then Chowdown performs an attack that deals more damage accordingly to how low the enemy's HP is. If the enemy has lower than 30% HP, this attack will deal 100% more damage. So that's not bad, but it's kind of useless, because if an enemy's at 30% HP, I don't think you need twice the amount of attack power, especially on an attack type monster, so that's silly. But nonetheless, this attack does more damage the lower the HP is with monsters, so it is designed definitely to finish a monster off. And yeah, so that's, I mean, whatever. It's a kind of cool skill, I guess. So we've got a crit rate bonus, we've got 2 debuffs, and we've got a skill that scales according to how low the HP is of a monster. And he's an attack type, so it's looking like you really do want to rune him like an attack monster. Rage Blade is obviously good, giving him attack percentage on 2, crit damage on 4, and attack percentage on 6 is a solid way to build him. Crit rate substats, even though he can give himself a crit rate bonus, you probably don't want to rely on that because he'd require 2 turns in order to really do well with his attack damage. So crit rate substats are good, get him as close as possible to 100% crit rate. And also accuracy substats are good if you want these debuffs to work. Now, this monster also has an attack that hits all enemies, so you could give him Despair Runes, to be honest. And if you give him Despair Runes, I would go Despair Blade. And attack percentage on 2, crit damage on 4, attack percentage on 6. The same build as whether you go Rage Blade, just Despair Runes. Because then you could possibly stun. This will also potentially stun, but it's designed to kill. And this is going to potentially stun as well, but it's mostly the second skill that you want. So not only would he lower the attack speed and the attack power, but he could possibly stun. So that's not bad. Despair Runes are definitely an idea. If you don't have Rage Runes or Despair Runes, you could go Fatal Runes with him, and that only increases attack power. Fatal Blade as well, attack percentage on 2, crit damage on 4, attack percentage on 6. If you don't have a crit damage rune, just put attack percentage on 4. Yeah. Let's see, what else? Violent runes are obviously good. They're good with anybody. One idea is you could give him a set of revenge runes. Then if he counterattacks, he'll use his first skill, which will give him a crit rate bonus. So that might actually be a pretty good idea with him. I don't know how many hits he can take, but if he gets hit and then he uses his first skill, he'll get a crit rate buff, and then when it finally does come to his turn, it's already sitting on him and ready to do more damage. So that might be an idea. Revenge runes could work. You could go Despair Revenge. I wouldn't do Rage Revenge, because if you're going to use Rage runes, you want his crit rate high. So Rage Blade is still a thing, but you could go Despair Revenge or Fatal Revenge as an idea. Let's see. Vamp runes might be good with him, especially with this third skill. You could give him Vamp runes, because even though at lower than 30% HP, he's going to have 100%, so he's going to do twice the amount of damage. And even though it doesn't necessarily take off all that HP from the monster if they don't have it, whatever damage he inflicts, he will heal 30% as HP with Vamp Runes. So if you go Vamp, I would go Vampire and Blade, and then still attack percentage on 2, crit damage on 4, attack percentage on 6. And if you've got really great crit rate substats, though, and you don't need those Blade, I would do Revenge. So Vamp and Revenge would be pretty good. Then he'll heal himself with his first skill. Yeah, normally I don't suggest Vamp Runes, but he does have a skill that scales based on how low the HP is of the enemy, and then also has that 30% for 100% more attack power. So that's pretty good. So Vamp Runes might actually be very good with him. So you've got Rage Blade, Despair Blade, Despair Revenge, Vamp Blade, or Vamp Revenge. Or you could go Fatal Blade or Fatal Revenge. So those are my suggestions for this guy. Definitely attack percentage on 2, attack percentage on 6, and crit damage on 4. And accuracy substats are good for the second skill. Yeah, so those are my suggestions with him. Leave any suggestions of your own in the comment section below. Actually, you know what? Let's take one look here at what happens when he's awakened. He probably gets... I'm going to assume he gets a crit rate bonus, but let's find out. There you are. Oh no, he gets a leadership skill. Attack speed of ally monsters with dark attribute by 23%, so that's not great. Speed is great, but it's only for dark monsters, so if you have a great team of dark attackers, then feel free to use him. 23 is pretty high, but it only works for dark monsters. Yep, so those are my suggestions with this monster. Feel free to leave any suggestions of your own in the comment section below if I didn't suggest something that you think might work for him. He could do quite a bit of damage. So, anyways, till next time, peace.